Coming up on Mountain News this morning, some Kentucky electric cooperatives are prepared to head to Florida and assist those in need. And a section of US 23 will be shut down soon for repairments.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:33 on August 30th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, after some of that rain yesterday, it looks like a great week ahead, especially heading into Labor Day and Kentucky at home.
You can't beat the forecast. I mean, here at home, down to the south, I'm sure down in Florida they wish they had our forecast, but here at home we are in good shape. Good shape this morning. All right, let's see what's going on. Well, not great shape because, as you can see behind me, it's a little foggy in some locations this morning. Let's go to Moorhead. Almost zero visibility up that way along I-64 in Rowan County, so just be careful. Give yourself plenty of time to get out the door this morning and get back and forth, because that's the scene in a lot of locations as you start your day. 61, a little cooler up there. Winds coming in out of the north, which is kind of a nice change of pace. Dew point's pretty low up there. Visibility again down to zero. Humidity still high, but when those dew points are lower, it makes a big difference out there. 50s and 60s right now. Yep, 58 in Irvin, already in the 50s this morning. We were at 70 in Harlan a little earlier. They're back down to 68 with Jacksboro as tight as the warm spots this morning, but a lot of low to mid to upper 60s out there this morning. And it's the same thing statewide now. 70s are down in Knoxville and the Tri-Cities. Everybody else in Kentucky, Ohio, and Illinois, even down toward Nashville and Clarksville, in the 60s there as well. 12-hour planner for today. Some dense fog this morning. You actually have a dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock for most of the region. It'll still be cool there around 9, and then we'll see things picking up pretty nicely this afternoon, about 80 degrees. A pleasant day ahead with a mix of sun and clouds. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon. 2 people are dead after a shooting in Logan County, West Virginia. West Virginia State Police say the bodies of a man and a woman were found in a home along Pierce Street in Chapmanville Monday night. In a news release, officials say the victims were Howard Bryant and his wife Melinda. Both were 53 years old. Police say there is no threat to the public and the incident was an isolated one. A Lexington woman is charged in connection to a deadly Bell County shooting investigation. Deputies say Rebecca Caldwell lied to them about a man who was wanted for trying to kill a police officer. The citation claims police came looking for the man at Caldwell's location. Caldwell's charges are hindering prosecution and facilitation to murder. The man who was killed has not yet been identified. No law enforcement officials were hurt. A portion of the Mountain Parkway in Wolfe County was closed yesterday after a deadly crash. The Wolfe County coroner confirmed at least 1 person died in the crash. The name of the person has not been released. It happened near mile marker 49 near Campton. The road was shut down for several hours. And 2 people are facing charges after a traffic stop turned in a police chase in Clay County. Last week, a Manchester police officer reportedly saw a car turn without giving a turn signal near Richmond Road. During the chase, the driver forced other cars off the road as well as running several stop signs. The driver later lost control and hit a ditch on Caudle Gap Road. Elliot Westbury and Laney Miller were arrested on multiple charges. One Laurel County teenager is facing charges for his role in a shoplifting case. It happened last Friday at the London Walmart. Police were called about 18-year-old Zachary Oakley of London, who was reportedly caught stealing items from the store. After police made contact with Oakley, they saw he ran toward the Dollar Tree nearby. Officers eventually arrested him after he was found hiding behind a dumpster next to the Dollar Tree. Several Kentucky electric cooperatives are sending teams to help restore power after the storm hits. Grayson Passamore tells us how Kentucky crews will now actually be returning a favor to those in Florida.
As Hurricane Idalia approaches Florida, the state's Gulf Coast is already getting hit, and this will just be the start.
We've been through hurricanes before, so we know what kind of damage to expect. But you have to make sure that the crews that are available and the equipment they have is well suited to be able to respond to the areas that are going to be hit. For instance, if an area has a big storm surge and flooding, you have to make sure that you have a vehicle that's able to handle that kind of terrain after the surge comes through. In some cases, crews might even be in boats.
Joe Arnold says linemen and women from 8 different Kentucky Electric co-ops are loading their gear and heading south first thing Wednesday morning. They may need to replace broken poles or downed wires. Whatever they're tasked with, they'll be helping crews who just helped us a few months ago.
Don't forget some of the same areas where our crews will be heading on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week are co-ops who sent help to Kentucky during the windstorm in March and during the ice storm prior to that.
Crews are leaving their families for days, heading into the unknown that this storm will bring. And they do it again.
They do the hard work, but once they get that in their blood and being able to help people and being able to see the net results there of actually getting people's lives energized again, they cannot wait to get back on the road again.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WYMT Mountain News.
Arnold says co-ops have to make sure work in their areas are taken care of first, and if needed, more crews will be sent to help throughout the week. A road repaving project in Pike County will shut down a section of US 23 in Coal Run for several weeks. The project begins next Tuesday with crews working overnight on the section of US 23 between Mossy Bottom and Stone Coal. One lane of traffic will be closed 24/7 until the project is completed, and others will close weekdays from 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. when workers will be on site.
And the reason we're keeping that lane in each direction shut down at all times is it would take a lot longer if we had to take all the traffic control off the road each morning and set it back up each night. So you would double or triple the length of the project.
The project is expected to take 4 to 6 weeks. Officials urge caution when traveling on the road. Communities across the state are reporting an increase in COVID cases. That begs the question, are hospitals seeing an uptick as well? Dr. Nicholas Van Sickles is the interim director of infection prevention and control at the University of Kentucky. He says they are closely monitoring COVID cases at the hospital and they meet about them daily.
Certainly expected when you see a newer variant emerge that we're going to see a bump in cases. Fortunately, we have not seen yet a significant increase in severity of illness.
Dr. Van Sickles says the cases are still manageable, and at this time he says they do not have plans to change their policies. The Portal 31 Mine Museum in Harlan County began giving tours in 2009 and over time has come to need a major update. Grant money for the upgrades was approved in 2018 with the project beginning in 2021. It is now nearing completion. Museum Director Nick Sturgill says with the upgrades it should bring more visitors to Harlan County and boost tourism.
You know, Portal 31, when people come here to visit, they're not just visiting Portal 31, they're not just spending money here. That money trickles down to all the community. And bringing people here to see Portal 31, they're going to visit other areas within Harlan County.
The mine in Lynch will celebrate the completion of the project on October 6th, and everyone is welcome. There will be food, fun, and an upgraded tour experience. Another Kentucky community will soon have a safe haven baby box. Danville firefighters were thrilled when someone in town donated $16,000 for a box. Safe haven baby boxes are fairly new in the Commonwealth. There's one in Corbin, but Danville is going to be the first central Kentucky community to receive one. Danville's fire station number 2 will have the box ready in about a month.
It's on the bypass, it's a quick access, it's kind of out of the way. There's not as much foot traffic out there, so it's more anonymous.
Firefighters say the station is manned at all times, but someone will retrieve the baby within 3 to 4 minutes. One famous horse racing track is hosting a day of racing for one Eastern Kentucky school later this year. Keeneland is welcoming HINDMAN Settlement School on October 12th for the 21st annual HINDMAN Day at the races. You can register for the event on the HINDMAN Settlement School's website. It costs $150 per person, including a $50 donation to the annual fund. Coming up, late night show hosts are joining forces for a late night podcast crossover.
And here at home, the rain has moved out and the sunshine is moving in. The latest forecast as we head toward Labor Day weekend in about 3 minutes.